Good morning, L2 Mindset Nation. Thank you so much. Kevin Fernandez here with Love Yourself, Lead Yourself, L2 Mindset. I want to take some time to say thank you to the many of you who attended the L2 Mindset Masterclass yesterday at the Jackson Center here in Huntsville, Alabama. We had about over 100 people in the room. Had over 100 people in the room, people that were committed to investing in themselves, in their personal growth, in their personal development, improving their lives. And so I am so proud of what we accomplished yesterday. I am so grateful for the opportunity to serve you. For those of you that came, I would love to hear from you. What was the most impactful thing at the event yesterday? I want to hear from you, whether it was a quote, whether it was a story, whether it was a whatever tidbit of information you got. Good morning, Christy. Thank you for coming to the event yesterday, and thank you for joining the Success Principles community, which I'm very, very excited to be launching that. So, I want to say again how grateful I am for the opportunity to have been there yesterday, just serving you and helping you all with some motivation, inspiration, sharing some of my story. Hopefully, some of that relate you could relate to some of it. Maybe you could use that as inspiration. Maybe you're ahead of where I started, or maybe you are right where I started. Maybe you're a little behind, but the fact is that it doesn't matter. The fact is that once you have a clear vision for your life of what you're trying to accomplish, and you decide to take the steps to get uncomfortable, to do whatever it takes to get to where you need to go, to where you want to go, then you're going to be able to get there. But the reality is that so many people have goals, right? Um, I shared this with my group yesterday. How many people do you know that set New Year's resolutions? A lot of people do. A lot of people do. Now, how many of those are successful at achieving those New Year's resolutions? Not many, right? Research shows that 80% of New Year's resolutions are done, not in a good way, not accomplished by February. It's done by the fact that people give up on them. People give up on the New Year's resolutions. They are done with them, meaning that they've abandoned them. So, if you are one of those who is still striving toward your goals, toward those New Year's resolutions that you set for yourself, congratulations. You're ahead of over 80% of the population. Because I just said 80% of people that set goals at New Year's, that set New Year's resolutions, have given up on them by February. So again, if you're still moving toward your goals, you're still working toward them, you haven't abandoned them, pat yourself in the back. Good job, but don't give up. Keep working on them. Keep working on them. I want to talk about a topic that is crucial to your success. This is something that I struggle with for a very long time. And this is something that if you don't work on and you don't identify what's holding you back, you're never going to be able to get ahead and create a breakthrough, a quantum leap in your life, right? It's okay to improve gradually, and that's okay. But like, I get a lot more excited about quantum leaps, about taking big moves, making big moves that are going to help you get to the next level quicker, faster, better. And so, in order to create a quantum leap, I mean, you have to first believe that it's possible for you. Believe that it's possible for you. If you don't believe yourself in yourself, if you don't believe that success is your birthright, that you deserve success, that you are worthy of success, that you have what it takes to be successful, you're going to manifest that in your life because again, your thoughts create the way you feel creates your decides the actions that you take, and those actions determine your results. And so if you are not thinking properly, meaning you don't believe in yourself, those thoughts are negative. You're not going to take the actions that you need to take in order to get to the next level, to have that breakthrough, to create that quantum leap, right? There are a lot of people that could be doing what I'm doing or could be doing whatever it is that they want to do. The only thing that's stopping them is the belief in themselves, is the fact that they don't believe in themselves. And there's a way to look at that. It's called the self-image. This concept of the self-image was first found at a like in 1960. There was a doctor, cosmetic surgeon, Dr. uh, Maxwell Waltz. He came up with this idea of the self-image, and he wrote a book on it, phenomenal book. Should pick it up, read it, Psycho-Cybernetics. And what he found is that people have a self-image, meaning a mental portrait in your mind, a way that we see ourselves. And this self-image determines our boundaries, how successful we can be. Meaning, if I don't see myself as funny, charismatic, outgoing, I'm not going to do those things. That doesn't align with my self-image, so my personality is not going to be that has those characteristics. So if I want to improve my results, I need to change my self-image. And it's easier said than done, but really the simplest way that I can tell you how to improve the self-image is to create evidence. What do I mean by that? If you keep thinking the way you've always thought, you're going to keep getting the same results that you've been getting, right? So you have to change your thoughts. Now, when you change your thoughts, whether that is creating a picture for what you want and determining, you know what, this is what I need to do. Now you're thinking differently. You're thinking on a different frequency because you're thinking about something that you weren't thinking before. Like you have a clear picture, a new picture of what you're trying to accomplish. Now you're going to be thinking about what do I have to do to get there? So these new thoughts at a higher frequency are going to help you determine what are the actions that you need to take. Now, here's the key part. Here's where a lot of people get stuck. It's not enough to think and visualize. You have to take action. Action is the bridge between your inner world and your outer world, between your thoughts, your feelings, your attitude, that mental image, and your results. Your results are in your outer world, your mental image is in your inner world. So action is the bridge. So once you visualize what you want and you think about it and you decide what are the action steps that you need to take, you really need to start taking action. Any action is better than imperfect inaction, right? Than perfect inaction, right? I want you to truly understand that. Like, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Once you decide to take action, you're going to get feedback. Now, you might get better feedback than you thought. It might be a learning experience, but you're going to get feedback. And then with that feedback, you're going to learn something, you're going to have new thoughts. And so those new thoughts are going to reveal something new. And now you take different actions and eventually you start creating the results that you want. I'll give you an example. For the longest time, I told myself, like, man, like, I'm so scared of public speaking. I'm a horrible public speaker. I mean, I was just terrified of it. And looking back on it, really, if I think back to high school, for whatever reason, when I remember doing speaking in front of the class, and some kids were, making fun of my voice or the way I talked or whatever. I have no idea what it was. I just remember feeling like I hated it, having that feeling of like embarrassment or like, I don't want to be here. I hate this thing. I'm not good at this. And so that feeling stuck, right? Because feeling is the most important thing. How you feel about something determines whether you're going to move toward it or away from it. That is the key point I want you to remember. So I just remember that feeling, like that feeling got ingrained in me. And so I'm like, I'm pushing away from it. I want to get away from that pain, right? And so I really had to work on myself to, once I decided, you know what, like, I want to be a speaker. I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to impact a lot of people, even if it's not as a motivational speaker full time. Like, I want to be able to be a public speaker, be comfortable with it, because that way I'm going to be able to reach a lot more people. I'm going to be able to impact a lot more people. And so I decided, you know what, in order to get to the destination I want to go, I have to get better at it. And so I started changing my thoughts from I'm horrible at public speaking and I hate it to like I started lying to myself. I started saying, like, I'm a great speaker, right? Those are the affirmations. I'm a great speaker. I'm a great speaker. I'm a great speaker. Just to change the way that I was feeling, just to change my feeling, my physiology. And then I took the next step, which was taking some classes on public speaking, right? Now I was lucky enough. The first career that I started in the insurance business, in the office that I was working out of, we had a program called Speech Masters. You may have heard of Toastmasters International. Well, we had a Speech Masters program where every other Friday we would come together as an office, as a group, and practice our public speaking. So three people would have the opportunity to speak for 5 minutes, a rehearsed speech that they already knew the topic, and they would practice prior to that Friday, and then they would show up and present to the group, and then they would get feedback on their body language, how many us or ums they had, and their delivery. So it was a very helpful experience. And then some other people would get the opportunity to be picked at random for an impromptu speech, and they were just given the topic on the spot. Like, I can tell you, like, I hated that, right? Because it was super uncomfortable. Like, if I'm prepared, like, I'm good, but like, you're gonna throw me to the wolves. Now, at this point in my life, I could be a little better at that. I still would not prefer that method, but I could get through it. But at that point, it was painful to think about, like, not knowing what the heck I'm going to be talking about and being called in front of a group to talk about it for, even if it's for a minute. And so, again, but that pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And the more that I practiced, the better I became, the better feedback that I got. And so now all that positive feedback that I was getting, that was the evidence that I needed. That's the evidence that I was talking about. So now I'm like, I have evidence that goes against that old self image that I had about not being a good public speaker, about hating public speaking. Now, this new evidence was saying, you are good, you're getting better, you're improving. People like the way you talk, people like your energy, right? At the end of the day, you know, speaking and selling or whatever you do, it's not as much about what you say, it's how you say it. It's the intention behind it. People can feel your energy. You can be saying all the right things, but if the intention behind it is manipulative, is negative, people are going to pick up on that. People are not stupid. People are going to feel that energy. They're going to feel uncomfortable about you, and they're not going to move forward whatever you're offering to them. So you have to be genuine in what you're doing. You have to truly be honest with yourself. Like, what's the intention? Am I truly trying to help this person? Am I truly trying to do something for them versus to them? Right? A lot of people have a negative perception of sales, and that's one of the biggest limiting factors that I've seen in people becoming successful in whatever business they're in, because we're all selling. We're all selling. Don't don't get that wrong. I mean, like, we're all selling, whether you're selling yourself, you're selling your business, your brand, your product, whatever, we're all selling. And if you have a negative perception of salespeople, then your self-image is going to say, you know what, I'm not a salesperson, right? Why? Because I don't want to associate myself with something that I believe is negative. And so you can never become something that you think is negative. So if you see that a very successful salesperson does things in a way that you don't like, then make it clear to your mind that it's not the results that you don't like, it's the approach. You don't want to use that approach necessarily, but you do want the results. You want to be a great salesperson. You just don't want to be pushy or salesy. You want to do it your own way. You want to help people. You want to be an advisor. So it's so important that you really are careful about the information that you gather, the ideas that you accept or don't accept, because, again, you cannot become something you resent. Your mind will not let you. If you feel negative about something, it's not gonna happen. So if you feel like wealthy, rich, successful people are greedy or arrogant or whatnot, get rid of that. Get rid of that, because, again, if that's how you feel, you're going to be pushing against that. So you can be working super hard to try to increase your income to make millions or whatever your goal is. But if you resent people that are already achieving that, your mind is going to push you away from that. That's self image. So again, take some time to work on your self image. That is the key to you getting to the next level, the key to you having that breakthrough, having that quantum leap in your life. Without that self image improvement, your results are not going to be consistent. They're not going to be permanent. You're going to take 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, because your self-image is like a thermostat, right? We are literally wired to be at a certain place that we're comfortable at. So if we think that we're the kind of person who can earn $60,000 a year, that's exactly what you're going to be earning. That's exactly what you're going to be working at, not a penny more. And if you do earn more, let's say you have a great year, you find a great sale and you do end up making like $20,000-$30,000 more, then you better adjust your self-image quickly, or you're going to be due for a slow period, because again, your self-image is going to kick in and be like, oh, well, hold up, what, 90,000? Like, I'm not the kind of person that makes 90,000. Like, and it will slow you down. Now, this may not sound reasonable to you, but the self-image, the subconscious mind, which controls us, is our emotional mind. It's not the logical mind. And so this is all unconscious. And if you don't believe what I said, just look at your results, look at your life, look at your patterns, and you'll see that what I'm talking about is the truth, because it's universal. I didn't come up with this. I mean, it has happened for so many people. It's been around forever. Self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. Absolutely. I mean, like, you will self-sabotage because your self-image does not align with that next level. So you have to work on your self-image. See yourself as already successful. See yourself worthy of all those great things in your life. See yourself as already uh, being great at what you want to be great at. And then start acting as if. Don't fake it till you make it. Start acting as if you are the star of your movie, right? This life that you're living, it's your movie. Stop playing the support role and start acting like the star that you are. Start acting as if you are the star of your movie, as if you are already successful, as if you already made it. Because if you give that command to your mind, that picture, that excitement, that emotion, you get emotionally involved with the idea, boom. Now your mind has that target that is compelling you to move toward it. And when you're emotionally involved with an idea, you're pulled toward it. You're not having to push, right? When you're pushing and pushing and pushing, that's when you get burned out. Burned out is real. Like, you have to be pulled by your vision. If you have to push, it's not going to work. You might make some progress, but again, you're going to self sabotage because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, I can't keep doing this forever. This is torture. So make sure that you create a vision for your life that is compelling, that excites you, that is big enough to excite you, right? That's a topic for another day. But again, I just want to talk to you about the self image and those limiting beliefs, because that is the number one factor in you accomplishing the goals that you set for yourself or not. So, the L2 Masterclass, I believe, was a huge success. We recorded the whole thing. The video is going to be ready hopefully within the next week or two. So if you would like the recording, message me your email address. Send us a direct message. Email us, Kevin at L2mindset.com. That is Kevin at L2mindset.com. Want to make sure to get that in your hands if you would like to watch that, whether you attended and just want to be reminded, get a replay of it, whether you couldn't make it and you just want to get the recording of the class. It's absolutely free, no strings attached. Just shoot me a message, shoot me an email, whatever it's easier for you. Let me make sure that we have your email on file so that we can email that to you as soon as it's ready, and so that you can get that truly life-changing information. So thank you all for joining me today, wherever you're watching this or listening to this from. I'm very, very excited to be here with y'all. And again, till next week, Kevin Fernandez here with L2 Mindset. Love yourself, lead yourself. Y'all have a phenomenal week. Thank you.